Let me see if this is working. Hold on. Let's see. Hello. Am I live? Let's see. Hello, all right, I'm live. Am I live? Let's see. All right, so this is gonna be backtesting with a future. Hello, all right, I'm live. Trading Titan. Now, am I live? Why the hell would I call myself a future trading Titan? Well, it's because I believe myself, and that belief is supported by continuous, persistent action on a day-to-day basis. So in this live stream, I'm just going to be breaking down my backtesting process, how I'm recording data, how I'm kind of building my model, and I'll just be talking over the charts, explaining things, explaining the way that I read price. And that'll do it. So, of course, backtesting is going to be in TradeZella. It's a software where I use everything. So I'm simply going to go here, backtesting. And then all I have is this session called Date Jump. So I can jump between any day from like 2022 to 2025. So what I'm working on right now, if I pull up Notion, I guess it would make sense to kind of explain the optimal intraday study system first. All right, so the optimal intraday study system, basically this is just the database that I'm using to record any kind of instance of my model presenting itself. So if I go to Miro, we'll pull up everything. So as you know, if you're following my channel, if you watch my YouTube videos, all my trading recaps, I'm basically building my model right now. And the lack of understanding of my model, the lack of understanding of higher time frame narrative is the #1 main constraint in my trading. So I am working to fix that each and every trading day by simply doing this process. What's going on, Dr. Haram? I've seen you comment on my videos a few times. But what I have here is just a playbook development process, and everything that I'm doing right here is derived from the 5 stages of trader development. And if you watch my videos, you've probably seen me explain this multiple times. But this is, I got this from a YouTube video from Umar Ashraf on Chart Fanatics, on Chart Fanatics YouTube channel. If you look up the video, it's 12 years of trading experience from Umar Ashraf. That's the title of it, I believe. So I took notes on it multiple times, and I built a process that I could follow, that I can apply. And I'm just doing that. So right now I'm on stage 2 out of stage 1 through 5. I would say I'm gonna mix a stage 2 and stage 3 because I've gotten to the point where I've identified a model. Now I just have to get to the point of understanding that and getting comfortable with it, building reps and experience with it, and getting so good at executing on it that's just the same thing day in, day out. This Miro is bigger than my life, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Remember that strat is not as important as psychology. It's like 2 journeys. First, you master your strat. Then it's the emotion that is your obstacle. Yeah, 100%, because you first have to master your strat. I feel like a lot of mistakes that traders make in the beginning of their journey, which is what I did too, is I would blame a lot of my mistakes. I would blame the reason for me not being profitable on trading psychology when I had no idea how I even read the market. When I had no idea of what my model even was. I would come to the market not doing anything, basically just guessing. This was like in the first 6 months of my trading journey. I would come to the market basically guessing. Everybody knows the book. What's it called? What's that? Trading in the Zone, right? Every new trader, they get the book, they read Trading in the Zone, and they're like, oh my gosh, Trading in the Zone. Everything is psychology, bro. Trading is 100% psychology. Trading is 110% psychology, 2% strategy. And then you get to this obsession phase with psychology and trading psychology. And your whole focus is on trying to fix your emotions. But the reason you're experiencing those emotions is because you don't even know what your edge is. You don't even know what your strategy is. You don't even know how to approach the market. You don't even know how to read the market. And that's the reason you're feeling all those emotions. So huge mistake I made in the beginning. And that's one thing that Umar Ashraf talks about in the 5 stages of trader development, or any video from Umar Ashraf that you see. One point that you're going to see him make all the time is he says trading psychology is bullshit. And I agree. Because in the beginning, psychology should not be your focus. In the beginning, your focus should be mastering your strategy, mastering your model, mastering your edge. So following this process is mastering your edge. And so I'm just doing this. I'm following this step process. It's a step-by-step. I've refined it to a step-by-step, and I'm just following this. And I'm basically getting to the point where I'm backtesting and collecting data around the model and getting comfortable with it, just building more reps and more experience. So you can see that I've done this for all the playbooks that I have. So I have 4 buy playbooks and 4 sell playbooks. I basically just have 4 setups that I'm looking for, because you have a buy and a sell for one kind of playbook that you're looking for, right? It's just the opposite. So if you have a buy playbook, flip it, and the sell playbook is literally the opposite. So 4 playbooks, 4 setups that I'm looking for, and these tend to offer a really nice swing in price. So the ones that I've completed so far, if I just click through these real quick, you're going to see that the market makes the same kind of move. Dr. Haram says, yeah, first huge strat in psychology, but it's like a set journey. It's low-key almost the same for most. Yeah, 100%. I mean, in my beginning, I would say like my first year and a half of trading, everything for me was just psychology, and I wasn't actually backtesting, actually doing the data collection. Now, let's say from a year and a half to where I'm at right now, this is what I'm doing, right? Just backtesting, actually understanding how I read price, the concepts that I trade, understanding those. But if I look through all these examples, and I have 14 examples of this particular playbook playing out, everything is basically the same thing. And if you look at criteria, this is the market criteria that I'm looking for to get to that setup, to arrive at that setup. You're going to see it's the same thing that repeats over and over and over again, right? We have a gap down open. We open at or near the low of day. We have a smooth buy side edge above price. So it's just the same thing repeating over and over and over again. This is one example that I haven't recorded yet. But if I click through these and I go through them, I've done this a lot in my videos too. It's the same kind of thing happening over and over and over again. So note this criteria right here: gap down open, open at or near the low day, smooth buy side edge. You're gonna it checks all 3 of the boxes in every single example that I have here. So we have a gap down open, we open at or near the low of the day, we have a smooth edge above. And then if I go to the following example, you're gonna see the same thing. We have a gap down open, we open at or near the low of the day, we have a smooth buy side edge above. If I go to the following example, it's the same thing. We have a gap down open, we open at or near the low of the day, we have a smooth buy side edge above. And you can see how the market delivers that smooth buy side edge every single time. Let me organize this real quick. Shit, I left out the 1 minute on this example. But anyway, same thing, right? Gap down open, open at or near the low day, smooth buy side edge above, and it attacks that edge. So this is the same kind of move just happening over and over and over again. Gap down open, we open at or near the low day, we have a smooth buy side edge above. It also happens within the same narrative, the same context from what is going on within that daily range. What's going on, Pod Gems? So each one of these examples is going to have the same narrative as well. Now the one that I'm working on right now, I guess this will actually be a backtesting session now, is protraction buy. Let me explain this real quick. If you know what market protraction is, if you study ICT concepts, protraction basically is a manipulation move. So let's say we are bullish on the daily time frame. If we are bullish on the daily time frame, what do we want to see? We want to see some kind of manipulation move lower initially, right? So typically on this particular playbook, we see a manipulation move in the opposite direction of the daily chart in the overnight session, whether that be in Asia or London, and that typically marks the low of day. In this case, it happens in the pre-market session because we have a high impact driver, and that creates the manipulation. Kind of true, but it's different depending on who you are. For some, psychologically is harder for some, often for people with limited resources. Yeah, I mean, when you say limited resources, are you talking like in terms of like financial situation or what? But if I scroll through these examples, you're going to see it's basically the same kind of thing. In this case, we see protraction in the London session, drops down, takes these smooth lows. So yeah, you are talking about people with a financial limited situation. Yeah, I 100% agree. And I've kind of put that pressure on myself too, because I'm literally making no money. I've literally not made a single dollar in the last 2.5 years trying to make this trading shit work. I'm not going to call it shit. It's not shit. It's what I love to do. It's my passion. It's where my heart and soul is at. Azer says, hi. What's going on, brother? I'm from Pakistan. That's crazy. You're on the other side of the world. What time is it there? It is 2 o'clock here, 2 o'clock Central Time. I'm on Central Time. I'm from Texas, from South Texas, Houston area. But let's see, did I explain this well enough? This particular playbook is protraction. Let's say I'm bullish on the daily time frame. I'm looking for a manipulation move in the opposite direction of that. I don't know why I've had these AirPods in. Let me take them out. 12:32 a.m. Damn, it's midnight. How many hours are you ahead of me? Like 10 hours? A whole 10 hours ahead of me. That's crazy. My girlfriend's overseas right now. She's in, I don't know, somewhere on the Mediterranean Sea, and I think she's 9 hours ahead of me, or 8, something like that. But anyways, let's get into this backtesting session. So first thing that I do when I am backtesting is I start on the weekly time frame, because I have to get an idea of what the higher time frame is doing. So if I look through these examples, you're going to see that it's kind of like me, or not kind of, it is me going from macro to micro, macro to micro. So you're going to see, think of it this way. You have a phone, right? When you're using your phone camera and you go to the camera and let's say you want to zoom in on something that you're trying to take a picture of. When you zoom in, you go from 1x to 1.5x to 2x to 3x to 4x, right? And you're just zooming in on the picture that you're trying to grasp. So I like to think of it this way. Kind of like to think of it as me taking a microscope and zooming in on what I'm trying to understand, or the move that I'm trying to catch there. So I start on the weekly, and you can see how it kind of goes in, goes in, goes in, goes in, goes in. It'll make sense, right? So this is the weekly. This is on the daily. So the weekly focuses on this entire fractal. Now on the daily, zooms in on just this little box of price action right here, right? So zoom into the daily. We have more details on the daily that we can't see on the weekly. Zoom into the 4 hour, and the 4 hour is going to focus on this fractal right here. So just like zooming in, right? Now here's the 4 hour. You can see even more details. Zooming on the hourly, even more details. So on the 4 hour, we see this entire fractal. On the hourly, we only see this fractal. So I'm just zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, until I get a really good idea of the picture that I'm trying to see, until it's crystal clear, right? And then zoom in again on the 15 minute and the 5 minute and the 1 minute. So you can kind of see how it's like zoom in, zoom out. Kind of cool, right? So that's how I like to think of this. Kind of makes it fun a bit. When you're doing your trading work, when you're backtesting, you got to make it enjoyable in some kind of way. Now, to me, this is extremely enjoyable because I'm working towards my dreams. When I sit behind these screens all fucking day, I'm just reminding myself that I'm working on building my dream life. Like, the life that I want is going to come as a result of the work that I'm putting in up front. And when I keep that mindset, it allows me to push through the grind. Like yesterday, I'll show you guys this. This is supposed to be a backtesting session, but I'm going off on a tangent. But I'll show you guys this. Hold on, let me read the chat real quick. Big respect for the grind from Alejandro. I appreciate you, Alejandro. Jasper Cool has finally popped in the chat. Oh no, he was here in the beginning. That dude's always in the chat. I appreciate you, Jasper, for the support. Amon says, did I move? I'm actually dog sitting at my girlfriend's house. She's overseas with her parents. They're going to be gone for 2 weeks. So I've moved. I'm literally in a workout room right now. So Dr. Ram says, do you believe that TJR is actually taking the trades that he puts out daily like it has never showed proof for actual trades? He's just using the position tool. I really don't care what any other trader on social media is doing. I'm only focused on myself. I'm only worried about moving the needle forward in my favor. I'm not going to sit here and think about what other men are doing. I'm not worried about other people's lives. I only care about my own, and I'm only focused on me. It's me versus me, my own way, my own lane. So I think I saw on YouTube that he took like a $400,000 trade on FOMC. Is it real? Is it not? I don't care. It has nothing to do with my life. It has nothing to do with me moving forward on what I want to do with my life. So it doesn't matter. Worry about yourself, bro. Focus on yourself. Like, what do you want out of this life? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What is your vision? It's fun to talk about, sure, but to me, it's just another distraction. I'm just extremely laser precision focused on exactly what I want, and I move towards that every single day. Marshall says, Lucan, hello. It's been long. Hold on, my girlfriend's calling me. Hello? I'm on live stream. Hold on, guys. Oh, shoot. My girlfriend's calling me about the dog eating the cat food. Nice. She has a freaking camera on her cat feeder. I don't know if you guys can see this. She just bit Ruby. Okay, she just bit the other cat. Dog sitting. You guys mind if I go deal with this situation real quick? Are you still gonna tune in? Alright, anyways, that just knocked me off my entire train of thought. Damn it. I gotta take the phone and put it away. Okay. So the dog bit the cat and ate all the cat food, but I'm live streaming. So it is what it is. Jasper Cool says backtesting is the only way traders get profitable. Jim Simons in his Medallion Fund, arguably the most profitable hedge fund in history. They got their edge from collecting old data and backtesting. Backtesting is not how trading works. Backtesting is not how trading works, but how else are you going to accumulate market experience? The only reason that I'm comfortable with my model is because I've been backtesting. And I'm not even executing trades, I'm just collecting data in hindsight. So Alejandro says, what helps you the most to understand the charts? Backtesting. Actually getting in there and looking for the things that you're trying to understand. Like if I'm trying to understand my model, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna backtest. That's it. So, God, fucking distraction. Let me turn this shit off real quick. Okay. Phone out of the way. Now, we will actually get into a backtesting session. So, if you're still here, if you just joined, I'm just backtesting my playbook, and we're gonna start with this example right here on November 4th, 2022. I'll give you guys an idea of how I look at the markets, how I read the market. So let's go to 2022, November 4th at 1600. Okay. Backtesting this example right here. So first thing is first. Now my edge, my playbook, what I'm looking for is the gap opening. Based on higher time frame narrative, how is price going to trade around that gap opening? So the first thing that I need is sufficient gap opening. If we go to the 15-minute time frame, this is, what's the date on here? November 4th, 2022. This is a 15-minute time frame. If I toggle on regular trading hours, the first thing that I do is I annotate the gap opening. So let's see, previous day settlements right here, right? 9:30 open. Opening range gap. God damn it. Okay, I'll be back. I keep getting calls about this cat dog situation. All right, hold on. Okay, after I handle this cat dog situation, we will resume the backtesting session. Give me like 2 minutes. stubbed my toe. All right, so hopefully you didn't hear that. Did y'all hear that? Let me know. Damn, bro, I just stubbed my toe. Okay. Now we can back test. So, what the fuck is going on, bro? Okay. Now we can back test. First things first. First thing I'm looking for is a gap opening. In this case, we have a gap up opening. So, if the market is bullish, what do I want to see? I want to see it trade down, fail to close the gap, or indicate respect of it, and then trade higher. So in this case, the setup that I'm backtesting right now is protraction. So let's go to electronic trading hours. And we can see that. Did we have market protraction in this session? We did, because we had an 830 driver, high impact. Let's go to the economic calendar, see what it was. Actually, I think I have it logged here. No, I don't. Okay. Wrong calendar. Right calendar. Go back to 2022. November. What is it? November 4th. Okay. So it's NFP. Now NFP is actually not even a day that I would trade, so this is probably bad data. I might as well just take this out of the data set. Oh. Yeah, I'm not gonna do NFP. I don't know why I have that one on there. I don't know. How do you guys feel about trading NFP? I feel like sometimes it's an opportunity to make a shit ton of money, but it's also an opportunity to really, really hurt yourself, right? Last NFP, the one that we just had, my model was there perfectly, but I did not trade because I was going out of town. So let's move forward to November 8th and see how that one is. So the next presentation of this particular playbook, which is protraction, is on November the 8th. So let me clear the chart real quick. Every time that I'm starting this, I'm starting with a blank chart. So the first thing that I do is on a 15-minute time frame, toggle on regular trading hours. I'm going to mark previous day settlement. So where we close the following day or the previous day in regular trading hours, and then where we open the following day at 9:30. And that is going to create your opening range gap. I want to drop quadrants on that. And if I'm bullish on the daily time frame, or if I'm bullish on that particular session, then I want to see the market indicate respect of that gap or fail to close it. Best case scenario, it fails to close it, right? But in this case, we see the gap is respected. If we put quadrants on this, look where the bodies of those candles stop, right at the lower quadrant of that opening range gap. So that is indicating respect of that gap. And then what do we see from there? We see a move higher in the morning session. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the real move in the morning session. That's what I'm looking for. So now that I have the opening range gap annotated, the next thing that I do is let's go to the weekly time frame. We got to get that macro outlook, and I analyze what the market is doing on the weekly time frame. And I try to provide as many details as I possibly can. So if the market has been going lower, then I'll annotate this as well. So see that the overall narrative is what? Bearish, right? So annotate everything. Do not leave out a single detail. And then right here, we have this sell side imbalance, blast inefficiency as well. So we have two SIBIs that the market is respected in the near term. We can see that this candle went below this candle's low, closed with a larger premium wick. You could say we took the rejection block back here. Right here, this is sell side on the weekly chart that has been cleared. So I annotate that, bottom left. Okay, so this is what the market is doing near term. Obviously, we're bearish in the near term. This is a Monday, correct? Not backtesting the 8th. So the 8th is a Tuesday. So day, Tuesday. Do we have a driver? On the 8th, November the 8th, 2022. We have congressional elections. Okay, so probably another day that I would not trade, damn it. I don't know, would you trade on congressional elections? I think this is a good example of what the market is doing. But I don't think there's any discount array from the weekly time frame that we could use to frame this trade idea. So what logic can be framed on this? I think in this moment right here, I'd probably be bearish on this weekly candle. I'm not seeing anything that I could frame a long off of from here on the weekly time frame. The market has gone below this low, right? So that's something that we can annotate. So we annotate it as old weekly low. There you go. Now we can see that the gap is respecting that. You're mixing things up. Backtesting it as a retail trader is not the same as what funds do. Retail backtests don't account for slippage, psychology, execution, is why most people fail even if their backtest looks perfect. Lucas, are you using Top Step? Yeah, I'm using Top Step. So there's that old weekly low that the market's respecting. So now we have a good idea of what the market is doing on the weekly time frame, right? So now with this annotated, it's the first thing that I log. Put the screenshot here in Notion in my database. Now we can move down to the daily time frame. I think. Okay. Move down to the daily time frame and get an idea of what we are doing on the daily time frame. So I'm going to remove these. This isn't really too... Amon says, what ICT videos did you watch and how did you revise this stuff to make it your own? I studied the 2024 mentorship. That is what really clicked for me. Everything that you're seeing that I'm doing is from 2024 mentorship. I don't really use anything from 2022 if I'm being honest. What did I do to make it my own? I would say it's a blend of multiple traders and not just ICT himself. The traders that I look up to, the traders that I subscribe to are going to be ICT and basically just Umar Ashraf, and that's it. The whole idea of me trading around the gap opening is from Umar Ashraf. He said something in that video that I've been talking to you guys about, the 5 stages of trader development, about the gap opening and how price trades around it. He said when we have a gap down, typically market either flushes or it reverses and fills that gap. So I thought, boom, light bulb. Started working with that, started using that, and now my entire model is literally centered off that. So that's what I'm doing right now. So if we look on the daily time frame, what details do we have that could potentially frame this long? So a lot of the time that I've been backtesting is in 2022, and the market has been primarily bearish in 2022. So it's kind of hard for me to frame these long ideas when the daily time frame is bearish. Anytime that we have a buy setup when the market is bearish, it's because it's reaching up into premium arrays. Marshall says, quick question, do you mind sharing your Notion template? Also, can you mark out those recent weekly lows? I could share my Notion template, but I would share it blank. I wouldn't share it with the things that I put in it. The only reason I would share it with anybody is to be a good example or a template so that you could fill in and you use for your own model. What I'm trying to get at is don't copy me. This is how I see the market. How I see the market could be completely different to how you see the market. We all have our own unique way of kind of seeing the market, right? So if I were to share it with anybody, I would share it blank, not with the content, not with the work that I've done. The last thing that you want to do is copy the way that I trade and copy my model. You want to do something that is unique to you and makes sense to you. So the market's trading up into this daily sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency. So I'm just going to mark this, annotate this, probably mark it with a dashed line. And then this is how I would annotate that. I would probably extend lines, right? So if the market is primarily bearish on the daily time frame and we're looking for longs, probably going to be using these levels as areas to get out at, areas of premium to get out at. So we can see that we kind of have an immediate rebalance right here from Friday's daily high. That's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm noticing, since everything that I'm doing is hindsight right now, I'm just looking at ideas to support the idea of higher prices in this particular session, even though the daily time frame is primarily bearish. So I'll probably mark out Friday's daily high and note that as an immediate rebalance on the daily time frame. So you can see how we have this up candle, right? And I don't even know if this would even be considered an immediate rebalance. Maybe we could mark this discount wick and see if the market has respect of that. So then this is where I would drop to say the hourly and I would look for the market's reaction off of that wick. Not really seeing anything. So I believe the only thing that I would note here would be Friday daily high as potentially an immediate rebalance. But this isn't really looking as a solid example because the market is primarily bearish on the daily time frame. And then from there, I would just note everything else. Like right here, we have these stacked highs, right? I don't know why I started calling them stacked highs, but I just do. So stacked highs. This high and this high basically equal, right? So looking at reasons for the market to actually want to trade higher. Now we have the slide lower in price. Typically I would annotate that as well. So we have an argument going on in the comments. That's cool. We have purged this daily sell side here. So it's something else that I want to annotate, right? Purge daily sell side. So mark that, annotate that as well. Okay. We have this daily discount wick, right? So maybe, hold on. See if the market is in respect to this wick here. Get out of my way. Let's probably look at the midpoint of this wick. Don't extend right. This looks complicated. I feel like everybody that doesn't trade ICT says ICT is complicated. All right, cool. So I'm just literally putting in. I'm annotating as much details as I can. I'm putting in as many details as I can on the chart to make it make sense for this daily candlestick to be an up close candle. This probably wouldn't be literally everything that I'm looking at in the moment. This is just me doing the most because I'm backtesting in hindsight. That's it. So from there, I would take all this, apply it to the lower time frame, mark that, do this. Now drop to the 4 hour. Now what do we see? We're able to zoom in on that fractal and kind of see what's going on. So if we go to the 4 hour, we can see that the market's more of in a consolidation, right? So when the market's in consolidation, it doesn't require that you deliver the absolute lowest low. This looks like a really, really fucking messy market right here. All right, so this is Friday's daily high. We can annotate this. Kind of put some room over here. So the market has taken this weekly low. This is Friday's session. Now I'm just going to annotate the order flow and anything that would make sense to me. Anything and everything. Anything and everything that would make sense to see the market trade higher in this session. Way too much annotations. Focus more on what the current daily candle will do. That's what I'm doing. Yo, what is going on in the comment? You fish IQ subhuman. Fish IQ, okay. So this right here, 4 hour, buy side imbalance, sell side fish, fish IQ. All right, we have this 4 hour change in state delivery, kind of touches that right there. I don't know what's going on in the comments. Y'all are going crazy. trying to make sense out of the market going higher here. See, we have 4-hour change in state delivery here, and state things in the past as well. So this would be a change in the state delivery, and it's a middle right. There you go. So this is Thursday's price action. This is Friday's price action. But this is all in the same session. So note this small little sell side purge here. Just gonna annotate that. So sell side purge, displacement back inside the range, 4-hour change in the state of delivery. Another bullish 4-hour order block because it's in reference to the 4-hour change in the state of delivery here. The market trades down into it there, that wick portion right there. We have Friday's daily high that's also acting as a discount array. The market pushes up into a premium of this gap here. So if I was actually buying the market in this trading session, I would probably take off at consequent encroachment of the daily sell side unbalanced buy side efficiency that we have annotated right here. Right, this is the daily CIBI. So I don't know what is going on in the comment section. What is going on, folks? All right, cool. So notice how this candle closed on the high, that 4-hour buy side unbalanced sell side efficiency. That indicates respect of it. The following candle opens, trades down, takes that candle's low, and that's the 2 o'clock candle. So this is probably good for the 4-hour time frame. Boom. So just mark that. 4-hour annotation there. Drop to 1 hour. Zoom in a bit more. Get more details. All right, now on the 4-hour, I like to mark previous daily high and previous daily low. So this is Tuesday, so we're gonna mark Monday daily high and daily low. Previous daily high. Where did Monday settle? Monday settled on its high right here. So this is the high on Monday. That's previous daily high. This is previous daily low. Mark that. This is Friday daily high. This is kind of irrelevant now that we have more information on the lower time frame. You don't have to use that level on the daily time frame. I do not believe in backtesting days you did not trade. I only believe in learning. I only believe learning from mistakes after a loss. What if you do both though? Then what? So now we have a 1-hour imbalance as well as a 4-hour imbalance. So this is your 9 o'clock candle here. So know that the market is respecting this. Now I can drop quadrants on this. That's not a volume imbalance, so the gap would be here. Shoot, not that. There we go. So we can also drop quadrants on this. And this is where you're going to see a lot of levels, a lot of overlap, and it's going to start to get extremely confusing. I did not hear what you said. I said, what do you do? What if you do both? What if you backtest days that you did not trade and you learn after losses? Then what? So you can see the market drops, fails to touch the lower quadrant, that 1-hour buy side balance less than efficiency, and this is at 3 o'clock. So I like to put little timestamps just so I know what the market is doing within the daily range. And then also note that we have this little gap right here, and that's actually what the trade is probably going to be framed off of. So any other details I would note from the hourly time frame? Probably not. So noting that, we have a strong order flow presented from yesterday's session. This is where we closed, settled near the high, that's bullish. Then we see protraction, trades down into that gap, respects it, makes a new impulse swing, forms a new discount array here. So now, notice how it leaves these relative equal highs before it drops down. I need to change this because I'm like looking way over here. All right, brother. Good night. Take care. Wake up and get after it tomorrow. Don't be a fucking lazy bitch. Get up and win. You got me? You hear that? Bro, why did you ask such a hard question, Lucas? He has 2 brain cells. He's going into overdrive. All right. Look, I don't know what the fuck y'all are fighting about, but y'all need to calm down. Like, what is there to argue about? People have opinions. Who gives a fuck? All right, so this is all the annotation that I would make from the hourly time frame. So boom, drop it down. So now we have the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. Now let's go to the 15 minute. Look at even more details. Now on the 15 minute, I like to just capture the previous daily range and that current trading session. So now you can see that there's a lot of information here, right? And this is where things start to get a bit complicated, and this is where managing your levels kind of comes into play. This is something that is still kind of complicated to me to this day, because trading ICT, you just got a bunch of fucking levels on your chart and you have to know how to manage them. So this is the new week opening gap. Not that. Not that either. There we go. So we can see that Monday has had this run up. Your sentence corrected. When will you go live tomorrow? Will I go live tomorrow? I'm not going live tomorrow. Message retracted. He deleted it. Backtesting is pointless because it only proves a strat fit old data. Markets evolve. The setup that worked in the past can break tomorrow. Only live results prove it. Your sentence corrected. When will you go live tomorrow? I would argue against backtesting being pointless because it only proves a strat fits old data and markets evolve, because I've literally taken the exact same setup that shows up in the exact same way in 2025 as it did in 2022. So 3 years ago, it's literally the same playbook, the same setup that happens, but 3 years later, and I'm still looking for these things. So yes, markets do evolve and they change, but I would say like the underlying fundamentals are kind of always the same, you know? So let's look at previous daily range and what happened. What's up with this guy? Who hurt you, brother? No, seriously. You got some really strong opinions and he's ready to defend them. I respect that. Defend those motherfucking opinions. Lucas, there's literally no point. I've seen Kane take the same trades for 2 years and make millions. Exactly. Hey, look, brother just has strong opinions. It's all right. It's okay, you know? Everybody has their own set of beliefs, their own way of doing things. All right, so we can clearly see the respect of the 4 hour buy side imbalance sell side efficiency and the 1 hour buy side imbalance sell side efficiency in the overnight session. This makes the low a day. We have protraction in the London session that clears the Asia low that we have here. Now it's clearly respecting bullish order flow, and then we have a strong impulse swing produced off that also leaves another 1 hour and now 15-minute gap, so we can annotate that as well. So you may think that my annotations are overkill, but I literally want to know every single little detail as to why that happened. This is only going to improve my pattern recognition skills. So one thing that I need to see the market do is I need to see it open and drop down and rebalance the impulse swing that it's made from the overnight and pre-market session and clear sell side liquidity or pre-market low. In this case, we clear both, right? Here we have a low formed in the London session, 5 o'clock, and here we have a low formed at 8 o'clock. So here's your pre-market low and here's your London low. The market clears both of those, and then we continue in the direction of the bias in alignment with this right here, and we rally up to the midpoint of that daily sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, which could be a take profit right there, right? Because the underlying narrative is bearish on the daily time frame. So this is with the macro perspective zoomed out, and this is what it looks like on the 15-minute time frame, trading up to consequent encroachment of that level. So the details I would annotate from here, we have that 15-minute gap. Notice how the market is respecting all of these discount arrays. It is respecting 3 different discount arrays. That tells me that this thing is obviously going higher. These are the things that I look for. The signatures that I'm looking for is waiting for this kind of reaction right here, right? Where the body's closed, the bodies tell you the narrative, the wicks do the damage. So you can see that this wick goes below that candle's low, so we have a stop point there. But if you look left, it's also going below this low and this low. So we remove sell side liquidity from the marketplace. We're respecting discount array, and then the market trades higher for the midpoint, that daily sell side unbalanced buy side and efficiency. That's probably going to be my low hanging fruit objective if I'm buying this day, if I'm trading this day. So there you have it. Mark the pre-market high. So just mark that as pre-market high, top left. There you go. And then I'll probably mark this as well. Holy shit, it's a lot of annotations. At this point, it's probably getting to a point where it may be too much. But I can see what I'm looking at. Like I know how to interpret this data because it's mine and I'm the one who's created it. All right, there we go. So annotate this. Wait, one more thing. One of the criteria that I'm looking for to confirm this setup is that the market rebalances to a discount of the impulse swing made from the overnight and pre-market session. So I'm going to mark the dealing range like this. Boom, right there. And we can see that. Does the market deliver a discount of the impulse swing made right here? It does, meaning it just trades below the midpoint of that. There you go. All right. So that's the 15-minute. Now drop down to the 5-minute. The problem isn't the strat, it's execution under pressure. Live markets feel totally different. A strat gives structure, so it's not gambling, but psychology is the balance. So I believe, take care, Marshall. Good luck and good trading. Yes, you as well. So the problem isn't the strats, execution under pressure. Yeah, 100%. I mean, your ability to actually execute the strategy that you're looking for is 100% going to be executed and different in a live market environment. Now, I definitely feel that, but I think you can get more comfortable with executing on the setup if you've seen it play out so many times in hindsight. And you're just comfortable with that setup. You know exactly what it looks like, exactly how the criteria presents itself, and you become comfortable with it. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's it. So on the 5-minute, we can zoom in and see even more details. So now the 15-minute and the 5-minute is telling us that the market is respecting all three levels that are in congruence right here. We have a 1-hour buy side unbalanced sell side efficiency, 15-minute buy side unbalanced sell side efficiency, and it's respecting the lower quadrant of the opening range gap, and we have a run on sell side. This right here, this very thing right here is what I love to see before the market reverses. Notice how many consecutive drives we have below the previous candle's low, and above we can see that these highs are nice and smooth. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And notice where all the candles close on the 5-minute. They all close above these discount arrays. So I'm going to mark this little annotation right here, and then boom, trade up to the consequent encroachment of that, and that's where I would be targeting. Jasper says, Lucas, is TradeZella is back testing like FX replay? It's literally the same thing. In my opinion, I think better. So I had an FX replay subscription. I canceled it. I got my, I forget how much it was. I think $300. So I got my $300 back, and I spent $300 for 1 year of TradeZella, and TradeZella can record all my data and all my statistics, and I can back test in it. Am I trading with Top Step? Yes, I'm trading with Top Step. I'm not executing. You're right, I'm not executing in these examples right here. I'm literally just recording data in hindsight. That's it. What did you say about your Notion template? I didn't say anything about the Notion template. So 100% you should get comfortable, but getting comfortable riding a bike won't help you fly a plane. I just believe it's a waste of time. You should then just trade with like $100 after learning a strat. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'll just say that. Sure. Let me see if there's a driver on this day. November 8th, congressional election. Okay. Interesting. But what time does this move happen? It happens at 9:45. So boom, mark the 5-minute annotations. There you go. And then finally on the 1 minute, where I would actually execute the trade. So this is London sell side, right? Market's driving below that. We'll just put this over here. I like the fact that the market has just continuously drove below the previous low, especially in the 5-minute range. And then we had an aggressive reversal. So with this particular profile, the first thing that we want to see, the first thing that we want to see is the market trade down at 9:30, right? So notice how many consecutive drives we have below the previous swing low. From a swing low here, knock that out. Swing low here, knock that out. Aggressive down candle, boom, come back inside the range. The change in the state of delivery is what I'm looking for. Courage Trader says, bro, how much time taken to be profitable trader? Love from India. In my opinion, as long as you want it to take you. There's so many different things you could do to do things the right way that would speed up your learning curve. I did things, everything that you could possibly do wrong in the beginning, I did. And so that's why with where I'm at right now, it's 2.5 years and I still haven't made 1 penny. But that's changing very fucking soon if you've seen my recent videos. But I mean, I believe that you could be profitable in like a year and a half if you actually have the discipline to do things the right way and not make all the mistakes that hold the traders back. So here's the 1 minute CISD. Consequent encroachment of the gap. So this setup would look something like this. So my stop loss would go, make sure it's below the mean threshold of this down close candle, right? But I know that from my data that I've collected from all my winning trades, I know that I should not have to risk over 16 points in a winning trade. So I've been kind of experimenting with a fixed risk of 16 points and just seeing how that works and how that delivers. And it's been delivering pretty well so far. There are going to be some setups that are just anomalies, that are outliers in the data, where the drawdown incurred before it becomes a winning trade is over 16 handles. But I'm not too worried about those setups. It's every once in a while, and there's probably an opportunity for me to re-enter on that. But if I take a bad setup, if I take a setup that I'm just completely entirely wrong about, I don't want to risk like 25 points on that and just be entirely wrong on it. If I just keep that fixed risk of 16 points, then I can keep my losing trades extremely minimal, especially the ones where they're just not good trades at all. Like the trades where you're over trading or just jumping into the market impulsively, things like that. So I don't have to be risking 20 handles on those kind of trades. But recently I've been able to kind of eliminate those. I haven't been making any kind of mistakes like that at all recently. My execution discipline is becoming seasoned 100% just because of this exercise that I'm doing right here, where I just get more and more comfortable with exactly what I'm looking for. So this is what the setup would be here. Other annotations that I would add. Let's see. I keep reading the chat and it's kind of making this go really, really slow. So if this is boring to you guys and I should do something else, let me know. So Leanonin Academy, I think that's how you say it. Friday past the 50K eval, only risking $150 to $200 per trade. 1 year of trading. Yeah, 100%. It's 100% doable. But now that you're on the challenge account or the whatever the fuck you call it, express funded account for Top Step, that's it. Now you actually gotta manage a real live account. I guess you should treat it as that. Obviously it's not real money, but now you have the potential to make money. So see how it goes, brother. Congratulations on passing that. So why are we not back testing the real way? Are you just going through your old back tested trades? This is back testing the real way. I mean, you can back test I'm back testing in hindsight right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm not actually executing trades because I'm trying to understand the criteria of my models right now. Now, once I do that, once everything is defined, then I'm going to go ahead and back test as I've done in the past. But I've had back testing results from the past without even doing this extra work to figure out exactly what my criteria is for every single playbook, and it's still profitable. So adding this on top of that, adding more experience, I feel like it's just going to yield a better result, like an even better result. I'm I am just fucking obsessed with trying to be the best that I can possibly be. And I have no problem with sitting here and studying data in hindsight. I have no problem with that. In fact, it's what ICT tells you to do. So that's the start of the macro right there. I like to mark the swing points for every setup. Like this. And then that would be it for this example. Boom, there you go. So now I would put in, now I wouldn't be able to fill in narrative criteria and entry criteria because that's what I'm working for these playbooks. I'm doing this work right here, this upfront work of just studying data in hindsight so that I can understand what the criteria is, what the entry criteria is, and what the narrative is, if that makes sense. I'm following the process that I've repeated time and time again that has worked for the other playbooks that I have, which is this. So I'll show you guys. Right, so I'm trying to work on filling in these right here. Like, what is the criteria? What is the entry criteria? How do I time that move? What's the narrative for that move? And what are the point of interest where that reversal looks or where that reversal forms? And then setup selection when that would not happen. So I've already completed this for this playbook, for these 4 playbooks. Now I'm moving on to the following, which would be my protraction buy playbook that I'm still working on right now, which is why I'm annotating all these. That's why I'm recording all these details in hindsight right now, not actually executing on anything. So what is the draw and liquidity for the setup? Now I can just refer back to this and know that we had a daily sell side imbalance, buy side deficiency. That was the draw for this setup. So I can just go in here and mark daily SIBI like that. The stop loss would be the mean threshold of the order block. The point of interest was that hourly buy side imbalance, sell side deficiency, right? And as well as the 15-minute. So we can mark that. 1 hour BSC, 15 BSC. Point of interest is where the reversal was framed off of. The timing of the move. When was the 1 minute change in the state of delivery? It occurred at 9:49. So I put the timing as 9:49. For timing, for me, timing is when the change in the state of delivery happened. So the full R on this position would be 7.89. How much would I risk? 16 points. What's the return? 126.25. And these are all the things that I'm recording. What is the drawdown? By drawdown is how much drawdown did I incur before that trade ended up becoming a winning trade. And that would be 6 points. So the duration, how long did it take to deliver that objective, would be, let's do right here, 92 bars in the 1 minute time frame, so 92 minutes. So I'm just marking that. And then eventually, recording all these statistics, narrative driver, there was no driver, was there? There's a fucking congressional election. I don't even, it's not something that typically repeats, is it? So congressional election, I guess we could just mark that as a red folder. We'll add that to the drivers. For the next time there's a congressional election and I happen to trade on it. But notice the ones that I'm leaving blank because this is things that I need to figure out. I need to figure out what the narrative is for this particular playbook, what the criteria is, and what the entry criteria is. Courage Trader says, bro, I cleared my first funded account and clear first phase in 1.5 months. And then second phase, I have reached my account. So did you lose your funded account? Is that what you're saying? So yeah, and having a 60 to 65% win rate with a 1 to 4 RR, I can risk less. I trade rejection blocks, so my stops are max 15 points, usually under 10. Yeah, 100%. I think there's a lot of power in knowing exactly how much you need to risk for each particular trade. Like for example, I know that 98% of my winning trades, I do not incur over 16 handles of drawdown before it becomes a winning trade. So why would I need to risk over 16 points in any given trade? It just doesn't make sense, right? So this example is finished. Now I'll move on to the next, and I would do this until I've filled out this entire database for every instance that I have recorded of protraction buy, and then I would go back and fill out this process for protraction buy. So might as well just do that right now and just name it. So this is the protraction buy development process. Any quick notes? These are just things that I note as I'm backtesting it. Just make that blank. So the first step to making a playbook is you discover an anomaly, something that repeats over and over and over again. So I'll write what that is here. I'm just gonna delete everything so it's blank, and I can just fill it in after the fact, right? whatever the narrative is. The star right here is something key that I have to note about the setup that has to play out, like in order for it to play out. So for example, for let's say this setup, for example, if the daily is bearish, I'm not looking for this unless I can anticipate a previous day low reversal because of respect of daily discount array. So just something really important that I should note about that setup. And then I have to eventually establish narratives first, which is the logic behind the playbook. Like, why is that playbook actually happening? So narrative second, and then step 3, create rules for it, which would be criteria, the time window which you execute on it, and then entry criteria. Criteria is the trade setup / environment to get the entry. Market criteria is a gap up or gap down opening for me. Just what you need to see for that setup to actually be there present in price. The time window, the window within you're looking for it to form. This is extremely important. This is very, very important. And then the entry criteria is what you need to see in price action. That's the logic behind the trade, the why behind it, why you're actually putting risk on. So for this example, or for this playbook, I haven't figured these things out yet, so I'm just gonna leave them blank so I can go ahead and fill in the template once I have recorded or finished out recording every single instance that I have here. And then point of interest, it's all the same thing. So just leaving this template blank so I can fill it out in hindsight. I do lots of back testing, studying on Sundays, and want to get more than anything else. You'll make it, bro. 100%, bro. That's what you gotta do. You gotta want this shit. Like, you have to take it seriously. You have to actually want it. I use Notion and I trade Alpha Futures, so I don't have TradeZella for you. All the data from Alpha Futures is cleared once I got qualified account. I have very, very strict rules, 2 to 3 trades max a week. That's good, bro. How do you say that? Lean Onin. How do you say that? Lean Onin? I can tell by the way you're typing, or I can tell by the things that you're saying in the chat that you are going to be a solid fucking trader 100%. Create the model by yourself. That is essential. I'm creating the model that I've made for myself, what makes sense for me. I'm not going on there on YouTube and copying somebody else's model. I've tried that so many times in the past. I even had this mentorship that I literally spent $700 on. That was a fucking waste. It was a dollar menu mentorship. And the only reason that I did it was because I saw this kid making money. I saw that he had a Discord. I thought, oh, he's making money. I could just go buy his mentorship, do exactly what he's doing, just copy his strategy, and I can make money too in the next month or two. And I can get it like this. And it could come real quick and easy. So I sought the shortcut, but what did that do for me? Seeking the shortcut only set me back further. It only dug me into a deeper hole, where I was going into a rabbit hole, studying so many different things that I didn't have to study at all in the first place, trying to learn so many different concepts at once, and I overwhelmed myself with a bunch of useless fucking information that had no relevance to me because I didn't put the time in to actually understand that information. So it was just a complete waste of time. And I was trying to copy somebody else and doing somebody else's work. So it's a finish name. Yes, I've put all I have for this to work. Yeah, bro, I mean, you sound fucking solid. I have a question though. How old are you? You seem like you're probably a young, ambitious guy. Like me, kind of similar to me. All right, so we'll move on to the next example. Go to August 6, 2025, and we'll record this example here. I'm 25, bro. Yeah, I knew it. I knew you were in your 20s. How old am I? I'm 21. August 6, 2025. 2025, August 6, 2025. Does it make sense as to why you cannot copy somebody else? Like, you have to go through an experimentation phase of you playing with different concepts and finding out what makes sense to you, what doesn't make sense to you, and figuring out your way of trading. I spent a really, 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 really long time a really long time in that experimentation phase of trying to figure out what makes sense for me. And trying to figure out the way that I want to trade. Like right now I'm trading the intraday swing model, right? Everything that I'm doing, I've dubbed it as the optimal intraday swing model. It's literally the name of everything that I have, every piece of work that I'm doing. I call it optimal intraday swing model. First of all, because it's my creation and I'm putting literally my heart and soul to it. I'm giving it my all. And second of all, it's because that's how I want to trade. So you have to understand the way that you want to trade and make it completely unique to you. Rahul Gupta. Yo, what's up, chat? Are the stats like right now? What is the win rate, RR, and strat? Courage Trader, bro. I'm 18-year-old and started trading at 16. That's good. By the time you're my age, by the time you're 21, you should be making enough money to feed yourself. You could easily, be self-sufficient. So Aman asked, how are you so motivated without even seeing no money pulling in? Honestly, that's a really good fucking question. And that is the hardest part about this. It's doing all this upfront work, making all this sacrifice, literally giving this your fucking heart without receiving any kind of compensation in return or without seeing any tangible success. The only reason I'm able to stay motivated, I think it's because of the vision that I hold for myself. I know where I want to be. I know where I want to be great. I know I literally want to be a titan in the fucking industry. And I just keep working towards that every single day. And I know that so long as I keep putting in this kind of action on a day-to-day basis, that I literally have to get there without fail. So the only reason that I'm able to stay motivated is because of the action that I put in every single day. Now, there's times where I fall off my systems and I fall into like a weak, lazy version of myself. And those are the days where I'm lacking action. I'm not taking action. I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do. And I literally don't feel like myself. That's where I start to feel a lot of anxiety. I feel a lot of stress. I feel a lot of doubt, a lot of fear. Negative thoughts start to flood your mind. And that's where you kind of start to cave as a man, really. So it's just action, bro. Action. This kind of action is what really allows me to believe in myself. And that's why I'm able to stay motivated without seeing any tangible success. Jasper says, Lucas, relax, bro. This guy's a 1-4 RR with a 65% win rate. I've only handwritten 10 notebooks from start to finish. It really takes everything you got and lots of hard times to get to the other side. This kid is a fucking beast. I'm not gonna say kid because he's older than me, but Leanonin, you're a fucking beast, bro. Straight up. Everything that you're putting in the chat is literally something that I would say. I was literally saying this earlier about TJR. Like, why do I give a fuck about what TJR is doing? I'm my own person. I'm my own man. I'm my own person. Why do I care what another man is doing? Why do I care about another man's life? I'm only worried about myself and only worried about moving the needle forward in my favor. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Own lane, own way. So anyways, back to back testing, I guess. So here is the 9:30 open. Here is where we settled. Previous day settlement yesterday at. Bro, that's why I followed you. Resonate so much with my own journey. I know you'll be profitable by 2026. Yeah, 100%, bro. I feel like I'm gonna do like 300K in my first year or two. I feel like my first year is I'm just gonna fucking blow up because I've put in so much time to develop such a solid foundation. I have such a strong, solid base, and I've literally had no tangible success yet. So I know that once I do hit it, once I start winning, it's gonna be like, boom, like I'm just gonna take the fuck off. It's gonna be crazy. Like all this work that I've been putting in, bro, it's gonna fucking pay off. That first payout that I take, bro, I'm gonna fucking cry because I've given this my heart and my soul. I've given this everything, bro. Opening range gap. So now I'm not even backtesting. I'm literally just talking to you guys in the chat. But, I mean, I'm cool with that. What's up, brother? Have you seen the first few episodes of the ICT 2025 mentorship? Looks like he stopped the ranting. Yeah, 100%. I read something on Twitter where he has like a grandson or some shit now, and he's kind of comes to the realization like these my grandkids are gonna look at me as some motherfucker who's on the internet screaming and yelling and raging all the fucking time at other people. So I feel like he's just like a new version of himself now, where he's kind of eliminating all that because he's just gotten to such an old age, and now he realizes he's looking at his downline, at his posterity, and he's thinking like, shit, like I don't want my kids to look at me this way. So I appreciate you rooting for me. I feel like most of my subscribers do, and I appreciate you guys. Lean Onin Academy. I've seen you in the comments a couple times, bro. I really appreciate it. If you got Discord or something, we should definitely, stay in touch, because I can see the drive within you just from the things that you're saying in the chat. And I know that the way that I think is definitely similar to the way that you think. So, look, you want to be at the fucking top? I want to be at the fucking top. Let's go to the fucking top. How about that? Does that make sense? All I'm going to say is that your website looks like a scam. This dude has a website? Oh, he does. Oh, shit. Can we look at your website, brother? I don't know what language this is. Interesting. Exactly, bro. By the way, love the content. It's more to make it out when you're in deep waters first. Yeah, 100%, bro, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just documenting the journey. And I know that eventually I'm going to get there, right? You should make a Discord group with all your subscribers. That's actually something I did in the past. I had a Discord with 200, did one-on-one mentorships about Bitcoin and cold storage. Oh, that's awesome. Are you holding Bitcoin? Bro, when you start trading and how much time you give in a day. When did I start trading? I started trading in March, April 2023. And how much time do I give in a day? All day, every day. That's the simple answer. Okay. Can we actually try to get an example done, guys? Can we do this? So frame the opening range gap. This is my protraction by playbook. So what I'm looking for is some manipulation move lower in the overnight session. Market make an impulse swing from there. We can see that we have a protraction in the Asia session, right? Takes previous daily low. You're in Bitcoin from the 2022 bottom. Bro, I was in from, put all my life savings at 2022 November at 16K. That's basically how I was when I was in August of 2023. I threw $7,500 into Bitcoin, but I actually sold all of it recently because of the financial situation I'm in. I'm making no fucking money, but Bitcoin has taken care of me over the last 2.5 years that I have not made a single dime. So shout out Bitcoin. If you want to hop on my strat, use Edgeful. No, I'm not hopping on your strat. All right, let's frame this setup. What do we got going on the weekly time frame? We see that we're clearly bearish. The market's at all-time highs. The market is traded down. I don't really think there's anything for me to frame from the weekly time frame here. We're kind of just in this consolidation, right? We've seen the market has gone barely below this little low right here, so maybe we can annotate that and see what it looks like on the daily time frame. So let's do this. Cool. Okay, so I mean, we're bullish. We're at all-time highs. Need I say more for this particular playbook? Probably not. Bro, I swear, bro, I went through this ICT route unless you mix it with real-time order flow. I used to trade order flow, bro, and it was dog shit. For me, I'm not going to say order flow in general is dog shit, but I couldn't make it work. Anything can work. I don't give a fuck what you trade. You can make anything work. It doesn't matter. All right, anyways, in the weekly time frame, market's at all-time high. So weekly annotation there. I'm backtesting in hindsight. Maybe the title's a bit misleading. Maybe I should do it backtesting in hindsight. Would that be better? Now, on the daily time frame, what are all the possible pieces of information that I can take away from the daily time frame to frame this as a buy day? We can see that the market's consolidating. Probably going to zoom into this fractal like this. If the market is consolidating, we don't have to see it deliver the extreme. It would... It does little things like this where we have shallow runs on liquidity and then it comes back inside the range. Add me on Discord, bro. Would love to share ideas from time to time. Yeah, 100%. I'm going to add you right now. The thing is, though, is I'm so laser fucking focused on what I'm doing that I'm not even on Discord, really. Like, I try to meet up with this other guy, but I answered him once every 10 hours because I'm just so locked in. So how do I add somebody on Discord? Should I probably put this on stream? Probably not. Okay. I'm going to add you right now, brother. Lean, own, in, plays. I don't know how to add someone on Discord if I'm being honest. I'm not really familiar with Discord. Number 4. Like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Hey, look. I'll give y'all my Discord and y'all can add me if you want. How about that? Copy user ID. Alright, I'm going to put my user ID in the chat. Add me on Discord. There's only like 10 people in here. I really don't care if any of you guys add me. But clarify who you are so I know who you are before I add you. Please. Why the fuck do people come in here and hate or try to get you to change your ways? I don't fucking know, dude. Doesn't make sense. But shout out Nicholas. Nicholas, I know you comment on a lot of my videos. Appreciate your support, brother. I have a friend that's also a trader that's named Nicholas. I don't know if that's you or if you're just another Nicholas from YouTube. I have no idea. Alright, y'all. Add me on Discord. If you add me on Discord, let me know what your username is. SYA Tech says, draw on liquidity is everything. I came to realization last year that ICT is just teaching you to read price. Once you have your draw on liquidity, entry model is the last thing you should worry about. Yeah, 100%. And the only reason I feel like to arrive at draw on liquidity is being really, really good at knowing where that daily candle is going, right? So from the daily time frame right here, what can I annotate to potentially frame a buy day right here? I mean, the market's in consolidation. Not really doing much, but I note that the market has done this right here, right? Now, bro, I'm from London, but we're on the same journey. Okay, that's cool. No, I for real appreciate you supporting the channel. I've seen you comment on like 10 fucking thousand of my videos, so. I feel like I'm attracting a lot of people who are like me and kind of think the same way that I do and are also on their way in the trading journey. Is that true? Is this true? Let me know. Like, I've attracted Leon in the academy. This kid's solid. I know he is. Sorry, I can keep saying kid, but he's older than me. This guy is solid. I know he's like me in a way. See if he added me on Discord. Do you also keep up with the news / economic situation in the world to make a better prediction on fused price action, or do you just trade technicals? I literally just trade technicals. That's the way that I'm taught. I studied ICT. I'm subscribed to ICT. He literally says that you don't have to give a fuck about any of the fundamentals or what the numbers actually mean or this or that. It's just purely technical. And really that's kind of all that matters, because I know what the market's going to do next with a degree of probability, not all the time, just by looking at technicals. So from the daily chart, let's see, this is Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, I don't think there's literally anything else that I could add from here to kind of frame this long idea. Psych, we cut through candles, motherfucker. Check this out. Boom. Aw, damn it. Didn't respect it. That would be awesome if it was something like this, right? And it just closed right on the midpoint of that. But you know what? I'm going to carry this down to the lower time frame and see if it respects it anyways. So look at that. Okay. 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 Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let me put quadrants on this. Okay. There we go. Thin lines right. daily reclaimed plus FVG. There you go. That is the proper annotation, as ICT would say. What's your goal, brother, in terms of props? I'm going to scale as much as I can with props, probably to a point where I'm consistently pulling in like $10,000 a month, and then build a live account from that, and then dip. Because I really don't fucking like all the rules and shit. You have to buy it, you have to play their rules and do this and do that. For me, the way that I'm looking at props, I'm kind of get in, get out kind of thing. Okay, so we have that daily reclaimed gap that we can use to help frame this long idea. Actually, I want to do this. Let's do this. Shit, not that. Bro, your videos are high quality and your mindset is elite. That's why we resonate and like your videos. You put effort into your vids, unlike a lot of other YouTubers that just press record and post. Fuck yeah, I love to hear that, bro. I love to hear that shit. And that's the thing, because you know, a lot of these other traders, they talk about trading in itself. Or here's the thing with trading mentors and the mentors that we have in this current space, okay? Anybody can teach you how to trade, but they can't teach you how to actually be a successful trader. In order to be a successful trader, you need to think like a successful trader, meaning you need to work on your fucking mindset. It's not just trading itself. You also have to become an elite trader. You have to become an elite human being. You have to become an elite man. So you have to evolve as a person as well, because your lifestyle never exceeds your personal development. So you're only going to be as good as a trader as you are as a person, meaning your habits, your mindset, your discipline, your actions, because that makes up who you are, right? If all these things are lacking, how do you ever expect yourself to be a good trader if you don't have the right mindset? If you eat like shit, if you don't have the proper nutrition, if you don't have the right habits in place, if you don't take care of yourself, how do you expect yourself to reach an elite level of trading? These are the things that have to be put into place. These are things that you have to take care of. So me, kind of like my whole intentions behind my trading journey is I want to get so fucking good at trading, like just insanely fucking good, just pulling in literally like 7 figures in a fucking month from trading. And then I want to show other people how to do it, meaning eventually I do want to become a coach. But when I'm coaching trading, I'm not just going to teach trading. I'm going to teach mindset. I'm going to teach habits. I'm going to teach nutrition. I'm going to teach training. Michael isn't in shape. Yeah, 100%, bro. That motherfucker is probably fat and old. And look at me, bro. I'm jacked. I'm in shape, bro. So, mindset, habits, nutrition, and training. I don't want to just be a good trader. I want to be like an elite level human being. Like I'm trying to be top 1%. You feel me? I'm not trying to be. I am. We don't try out here. We fucking do. We don't try. We do. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Yes, it makes fucking sense. Leonin says, bro, if you want to drop your Discord soon, I will add you straight. I sent my Discord idea, or my Discord ID. I'm not sure if you added me. I shared it in the chat, brother, if you scroll up. Here, I copied my user ID. Here we go. There's my user ID. Can I mention you? Let's see. Add my user ID. Nothing worse than the big trading YouTubers are posting a new $1 billion strategy every day. It's cool to watch someone journey alongside your own. Yeah, 100%, bro. I mean, look, I'm just trying to be like a breath of fresh air. I'm so fucking real about everything that I do. I'm not holding back anything. I'm showing you guys anything and everything. I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what it takes to become a top level trader so that you can do it too. And that is the reason that I have this YouTube channel. Because I got to get myself out there, you know? Motherfuckers literally sit down and talk and make millions of dollars. I'm trying to be like that. But it's only because they've evolved themselves to such a high level of being that they're just fucking elite, you know? Have a great session. Good luck. I appreciate you, brother. Sleep well. Take care. Wake up and win tomorrow. Wake up and win. That's what you got to do every single day. That's what you got to do every day. All right. Back on my back testing session, I guess. So this live stream was supposed to be back testing with a future trading titan, but I literally haven't been back testing at all. I've just been talking with you guys in the chat. But honestly, I fuck with that. I fuck with that a lot, even though there's only like 5 people watching this shit. All right, so this is what I would annotate from the daily time frame. I don't know why this is purple. Make this gray. It's the color I use my imbalances. In India, no parent support for trading. Yeah. My own mom told me that I'm gonna fucking fail. My mom thinks I'm crazy. She thinks I'm a degenerate. She thinks I'm stupid because I trade. So it is what it is, bro. Love your parents from a distance. Just do your thing. Just keep doing your own thing and love them from a distance. No news Monday tomorrow. My plan says to de-risk just like a machine learning robot. I follow my plan always. Yeah, 100%, bro. I'm literally thinking the same exact way. I'm not trading tomorrow because I know that if we look at the economic calendar this week, right? What do we have? So Monday, we have FOMC member speaking, which is literally nothing. This never does anything. And then Tuesday, we have 2 red folders, 3 red folders tomorrow on Tuesday, and an orange folder. Okay, so that's probably going to be a high probability trading day. We have an orange folder on Wednesday. We have another red folder. We have GDP on Thursday. GDP is always so fucking clean. I love GDP. And then we have PCE on Friday, which is always also so fucking clean. So I know that I'm going to be extremely risk heavy Tuesday through Friday. So I'm not even going to trade tomorrow because tomorrow is no drivers. It's going to be shit. Remember us day ones when you're rich, bro. Of course, the goal is to be just as rich with you. Look, bro. We can all get there, right? I said this in my video like yesterday. There's nothing that separates me from any of you guys. There's nothing that makes me fucking special. There's nothing different about me. Maybe besides the fact that I'm extremely driven, extremely motivated, extremely disciplined. I have an extreme work ethic, but I wasn't always like this. I've cultivated this. I've become this new person because of this trading journey. So embarking on this trading journey has literally made me into an entirely different man. I'm not the same person that I was before I started trading, I'll tell you that. So I've already had success as in the person who I've become before I've actually had any trading success, if that makes sense. And I will remember you guys. I mean, you've been commenting on like all my videos, so there's no way that I could fucking forget that. I mean, I know the username right here. I can see it right here. Nicholas Bustamante. I don't want to botch your last name, bro. Sorry. Your mom's going to be your first supporter when you make it, which is fine. Your mom just wants the best for you. Just prove her wrong about trading. Yeah, 100%. I don't know. She's a lover from a distance, right? She has her own way of thinking. She has her own beliefs. That's totally fine. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. I'm just going to do my thing and make it work. So, should I even keep backtesting? Or should I just keep sitting here and talking? Let me know. Let me know. Come on. I feel like the chat's kind of dying down. Everybody's kind of tuning out. Bro, can you give me your best advice? I am new. What do you need advice on, brother? Let's answer that question first. What do you need advice on? Like, what are you struggling with? What are you lacking? What do you need help with? Let me know. Let me know and I'll give you the best advice I could possibly give you. What time is it? 3:52. Okay, I gotta hop off in about 15 minutes. Carry on with my day. I'm gonna hit the fucking gym. I start Forex trading. Okay, you start Forex trading. What about it? What you need to know? Like, what do you want to study? I've got you. I've added you. I start Forex trading. Okay. Anything else? What in particular about Forex trading? Let me know. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, but anyways, this is the daily time frame. We can see that in this example, we go from previous daily low to previous daily high. Okay, cool. Annotate that. Whatever. Probably do this. I'm not fucking focused on this at all. I'm just talking to you guys in the chat. But here we have daily volume imbalance. This year and last year's price action are the worst years ever for the Nasdaq, according to ICT. If we can get through this, we are in the top 1%. Yeah, 100%. He has said that multiple times. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I mean, look at this. This is what, July 2025. Look at this price action that we had. These daily candles are so small ranged and not full bodied, and they overlap the previous range. I mean, how did I even do trading that shit? Seriously. Where is... Here, Bulb Trades up. How did I trade in July? Let's take a look. So July was literally the first month where I would consider started taking my trading seriously because or it was June, because I started recording my statistics and I started knowing how I was actually trading, how I was actually performing in terms of what my performance looked like. So as soon as I invested in TradeZilla, I started to know my data. As soon as I started to know my data, I started to know, oh shit, this is actually how I trade. This is what it looks like. And when I had a profitable month in June, I was like, oh shit, this is what a profitable month of trading looks like. Look how many red days I had in June, but I still came out on top, right? And then in July is when we had that really shitty price action where a lot of days I did nothing. And that was probably the best move for that trading day. But I think in July, a lot of the reasons why I did not trade was because I didn't actually understand my model. So who mentored me? Becky Mann says, who mentored me? I'm mentored by the Inner Circle Trader. That's it. Ever since I started studying ICT, I have literally refused to learn from anybody else because they try to simplify it into, I don't know. They try to make it simple because everybody wants the shortcut. Everybody wants results right fucking now. Everybody wants the easy way out. And ICT's concepts and the way that he teaches and lectures is literally designed to weed out the people who aren't willing to put in the time and the work to actually learn the concepts and understand them. So when you have these other YouTubers and other influencers posting, here's every ICT concept in 30 minutes, how the fuck do you expect to learn anything from that? First of all, you're getting like a brief overview of it from someone who didn't even create the concepts themselves. Second of all, you're learning 30 fucking things at once. So how do you expect yourself to get good at one of those? You have to take one thing at a time and apply that and get comfortable and grow with that. It's hard to swallow an entire fucking pie at once, right? How do you eat a pie? Do you eat the whole damn thing in one bite? No, you take it piece by piece, bit by bit, bite by bite. So that's a huge mistake that I made in the beginning because I tried to literally eat the whole fucking pie at once in one single bite, and all it did was dig me into a deep hole where I was confused. I studied the entire 2022 ICT mentorship in 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to watch every single video, take notes on every single video, which is honestly unheard of. Like I told people like, yeah, I cleared that shit in 2 weeks. And they're like, what the fuck? How did you do that? Well, I'll tell you how I did it. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning every fucking day and I grinded it out every single day, all day. And that's all I did. So if I go back to here, oh, not that. If I go to here and I go to this, I watched the whole damn thing twice. And I took notes on every single episode twice. In 2 weeks. And I learned nothing from it. Straight up. I learned nothing. Because I tried to eat the whole fucking pie at once. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. So Nick says, gotta keep in mind the most of our parents don't come from an era where internet didn't even exist. Of course, this doesn't make sense to them. My mom was in disbelief when I got a job where I work from home. Yeah, exactly. It's just a paradigm shift, right? Or it would require a paradigm shift, but their paradigms, the way that they think and what they believe, is so stuck up in how they've been doing things for the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years. My mom looks at me and my girlfriend and we're making money online and they think like, how the fuck is that even possible? Because all they knew was go to school, go to college, go to university, get a degree, and then go work at a job somewhere. And that's how you make money. That's the only way you can make money. That's it. So when I told my parents that I was going to be a trader, they just don't even see it as a thing, right? So we are going to be demons by next year. I'll be praying for everyone's success. Yeah, 100%, bro. We're going to be some fucking machines. If you keep up the rate at which you are working, if you're grinding your ass off, then you will get there, 100%. You got to get there. Did you answer my chat Discord? Yes, bro. Just to clear, it's you on Discord. Yes, bro. That is me. Okay, who else? Who else am I talking to? Get down. Get down. Get down. Talking to my dog. Oh shit. Bro, which Inner Circle Trader playlist should I watch? 2024 mentorship. Bro, I mean that I've just started trading, so which concept do you think is best for me to learn? 2024 mentorship. Great, have a blessed week, brother. I will be in touch. Awesome, I will be in touch as well. I thought Gady was the guy who mentored you. Who the fuck is Gady? You earn money. Am I earning money right now? I'm not making any money right now. But I know that I'm going to. Nobody in my private circle knows I trade apart from my mom. She's my biggest support. She prays every day that my trading succeeds. Dude, that is fucking awesome. I wish I had that kind of relationship. Except I don't need it from my mom because I got it from my girlfriend. My girlfriend believes in me. She's overseas right now and I'm literally pet sitting at her house. But this is the note that she left on my desk before she left. Listen to this shit. This is how you know that I have a fucking diamond in this girl. She says, just a reminder, I believe in you so much. Our success is in the very near future. I'm so proud of the man you are and I feel so lucky to love you. No matter what, I will always be by your side cheering you on. Love, Summer. Isn't that crazy? I am fucking blessed. I don't know how I got so lucky with this girl, but I'm blessed. It's crazy. Great. Have a blessed week, brother. Be in touch. All right. I'll see you soon, brother. So yeah, that's awesome. I love the fact that your mom is supporting your journey. There's one person. If anything, there's one person who's going to support you. Just one person, right? But that's all you need. Aside from yourself, really all you need is yourself. Because if you believe in yourself and you know what your vision is and you hold that vision in your mind and you work towards it steadily on a day-to-day basis, then you really don't need anybody else to believe in you. Like, sure, I have other people that believe in me, but I don't actually, feel their belief, or I guess that's not a good way to put it. But the only belief that I can actually feel, like physically feel, that I know that I have, that I know it's there, is the belief that I have in myself, because it's backed by action on a day-to-day basis. It's so important that we take action towards the vision that we have for ourselves. But the first thing that you need is a vision. For example, recently I completely fell out of my daily systems and I was literally not doing any fucking work at all because I was misaligned. So what did I do to realign myself? Just simple exercise, guys. Do you even do this for yourself? Listen to this. The first thing that I do when I start my workday is I sit down at my desk and I write down 5 meaningful goals. 5 of the most important goals to me that I am working towards right now. Now when I'm working, what am I doing? I'm thinking about the 5 most meaningful goals that I have for myself right now as I'm working. So as I'm working, I'm thinking I'm working towards that and I'm getting that. And I'm going for fucking that right now. Bro, how long has it been since you started trading? It's been 2.5 years. Becky Man says, how the fuck do you get women like that? Dude, I don't know, bro. I met her in high school, but the way that I was, I had all these fucking girls all over me, and she was the one that kind of like won. She grabbed a hold of me. She did not fucking let go. And now here we are 6 years later, almost 7 years later, and we're still together. Am I in college? Yes, I'm in college, but I'm doing online. Bro, are you watching the ICT private mentorship? There is no private mentorship. Oh, the playlist? I haven't really studied the private mentorship playlist at all. For me, it was just 2024 mentorship. That's it. So these are all the notes that I have, right? From the 2025 lecture series, 2024 mentorship. This is where I really start to take off, guys. It was 2024. So I started doing my notes on Notion, and then I moved it into a journaling tablet that I have. So I took notes on the 2025 mentorship. Everything is just starting. It's just straight to the point. I couldn't believe what I'm seeing in Lamau. I'm learning so much from it. Yeah, 100%. In the video, the first video that he posted, I'll pull it up real quick. How to get access. How to get access to what? This video right here, trading all-time high markets, the principles that he lays out clear as day in this video, so key for daily bias, especially with the condition that we're in right now. The things that he mentioned in this, they happen and they repeat over and over and over again. So I'm using this for bias, and it's so good. And I've actually taken a piece from this and applied it to my model, and now I have more logic behind my model. So I took, yep, I read that. Okay, how do I get access? Get access to what? I'm not, like ICT's mentorship, or it's on YouTube, or I don't have anything that I'm selling. Faraz Ahmad says the best indicator you recommend. I don't use any indicators, brother. It's just straight charts. It's just straight candlesticks. The candlesticks tell you everything you need to know. That's it. So you can tell by people's questions when they're looking for a handout and quick wins. Trading isn't easy. Yeah, 100%. Like Faraz just asked, best indicator you recommend. What the fuck is that gonna do for you? I mean, seriously. What the fuck is the best indicator gonna do for you? Do you think it's gonna be like some magic key that unlocks the door to profitability? No. Fuck no. That's not how this shit works. Trading isn't easy. You're right, Nick. You have to put in the time and the effort to, number one, learn the market. Number two, learn how you want to trade. Number three, understand how you want to trade. And number four, be able to execute that in a live market environment. Elias Tech says, if you're in college, how do you manage your time with trading? If I'm being honest, the only reason I'm in college is for my parents, and I'm only in 2 classes right now. And I'll tell you what does my school. So I use this tool. It's really effective when it comes to getting things done. And I'll show you what it is real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. All right. Hold on. It takes me a while to pull it up, but I promise you, like if I give you this key right here, you're gonna be like, oh my god, what the fuck? That's crazy. Why haven't I been doing this all along? Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys. If you're in college, if you're in school, this system right here is going to allow you to just breeze through your fucking classes. Ready? Check this out. Here it is. This right here, the number one system for getting your classwork done. Okay, you could literally just that's all I do. That's all I do with my school. I don't actually do school. Like, straight up. So low, the only indicator you could probably say is the session times. The indicators that I use is how the market closes around gaps and liquidity. So I'll tell you what my indicator is right here, okay? This is a 15-minute chart. If we look at this candle right here, this is the 10-15 candle on a 15-minute chart. You can see that it's a down close candle, right? So within this 15-minute range, the market opened, it traded up, it traded down into, I'll just remove this. It traded down into the opening range gap, right? But where did it close? Where did the body close? The body closed, is there like an annotation tool I can use? Sure, seriously, let me see. The body closed above it, right? So what does that tell me? That tells you the market is strong and it's gonna do this. That's it. That's my indicator. You want a fucking indicator? There it is. The candlesticks tell you everything. So exactly, people want an indicator that says sell and buy and make thousands of dollars. Yeah, I mean, people just want shit handed to them. Motherfuckers are lazy, bro. Faraz Ahmad says, examples, in your case, you are using candles as an indicator. I wasn't asking about buy/sell indicators. Oh, okay. Apologies, I kind of went off. I kind of went off on you, bro. But yeah, basically what I'm looking for is if I'm framing a reversal off of a gap, right? Let's go to the hourly. Let's go to the hourly and just look for examples like this. So check this out. This is a gap right here, right? This is by definition a bearish fair value gap or a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, because there's an imbalance in the sell side delivery and it's buy side inefficient because within this hourly range, we only had sell side delivery. So there's an imbalance in the sell side delivery and it's inefficient in buy side delivery. So note how the market trades back up into this gap and it cannot even trade to the lower quadrant of this gap. What does that tell me? That tells me that in the market is surely weak. It is surely weak and should be sold. Now, I don't just go in here blindly following these signatures and price. There has to be narrative from the higher time frame, which is why I do the top-down analysis every single session. And if we can narrow down the reaction out of this gap by dropping to the lower time frame and seeing where that inefficiency really is at, right? So you drop down on the 15-minute time frame. Now you have a gap that is in congruence with this as well. And you can see how the market does not even trade to, let's mark this right here. Even on the 15-minute time frame, we can kind of see the same story, right? See where the bodies stop? First of all, it fails to close the gap, right? If it fails to close the gap, that is a sure sign of weakness. Second of all, look where the bodies stop. The bodies close below the upper quadrant of that gap. That's a sure sign of weakness. Drop to the 1 minute, go back to that gap. See the market is kind of accumulating around that level, but look at the reaction off this level, right? As soon as the market trades up to this, notice how it fails to trade to the high of that gap. That's exactly what you want to see. We have large down candles come in, and it's also during an element of time being the 210, the 150 to 210 macro. There you go. So you have your element of time supporting the reaction off of the upper quadrant of this gap. There you go. That's the indicator that I use. Let me catch up on the chat here. I used RSI so much when I first started. What a waste of time. Yeah, I used to use fucking, what do you call it? VWAP. VWAP. Hell yeah. VWAP. So it'd probably look like some shit like this. I never really actually use it. I mean, who I was studying at the time, and I used to study Carmine Rosado, if you're curious about who it was, be like, oh, VWAP. Oh, look, sell. There you go. Go lower. Okay. Tell us about your story and how you met your girl and about trading. So I met my girl when I was a freshman in high school. I believe it was second semester, freshman year of high school. When we started dating, we met in study hall. And like I said, when I was younger in high school, I didn't have to do anything to have girls come my way. They just sought me, if that makes sense. So, I mean, she just came up to me in the hallway and asked me, like, hey, we have study hall. Do you want to sit together? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we sat together, and then I guess just started flirting with each other in study hall. And then one thing leads to a next. We end up liking each other, start dating second semester of high school, second semester of freshman year. And 6 years later, we're still together. And we plan on getting married. Tell us about your story and how you started trading. How did I start trading? Okay. This one might be a while. You know, I may have to cut the stream here. I may have to get on with my day. But I really do enjoy sitting here and talking. Hold on. Let's see what I got for the rest of my day. If I can fit this into my schedule. Oh, wrong calendar. So look, guys. Here's another thing that you can do to operate like $100 million CEO. Check this shit out. Guys, look at this. This is the following fucking week. Okay? It's Sunday the 21st. I have planned out my entire week up until next Sunday. What kind of motherfuckers are doing shit like this? The 1% do shit that nobody else is willing to do. I literally know exactly what I'm gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and next Saturday. You want to be different? Do the shit that's gonna set you apart from what everybody else is doing. I know exactly what I'm doing tomorrow. I know exactly what I'm doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's about time for me to get off here. Although I don't want to, I may go longer. But I'm supposed to be leaving for the gym at 4:15, so I can come back and eat dinner at 6 to 7, and then begin working again at 7 to 9:30, and then at 9:30 to 10 o'clock, I'm gonna go to bed, or I'm gonna start getting ready for bed. I always hear millionaires say to be delusional. Does it sound like I am delusional? I'm extremely fucking delusional. I literally want to be the best. Look at the title of this video, bro. It's called Backtest with a Future Trading Titan. I believe that I'm going to be a trading titan. So long as I believe it and so long as I work towards it, then it has to be by law, because that's how shit works. There are certain laws that literally govern this life, and that is one of them. It's basic laws of physics. For each action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Meaning, if I put in work every single trading day to become a trading titan, guess what? I have to become a trading titan by law. By fucking law. All the millionaires are delusional. In my opinion, you have to be delusional. Dude, why wouldn't you be? Why the fuck wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you want to be the best version of yourself? Why wouldn't you want to be the best you could possibly fucking be? Why would you settle for less? Why would you want to be average? Why not be the best version of yourself? Seriously. It doesn't make... I don't get it. I don't get how motherfuckers can settle to just be average. I mean, look, do you want to live the best possible life that you can have? Do you want to squeeze the juice out of life? Or do you just want to do what everybody else is doing? Like, seriously. Guys, we have one fucking life. Why not go through this life wanting to be the best? Seriously, like, it doesn't make fucking sense to me. Could you explain Graypool? You don't need fucking Graypool. Bullshit. I'm just kidding. Graypool is... Let's see if I can find an example of it. I don't use it often at all. But it's basically when two wicks overlap. Check this out. I mean, let's see, you have the overlap of this wick and this wick, right? I don't really know why this area is important, but that would be your gray pool right there. I hardly ever use that shit. Nick says, I think volume in some EMA bands are okay, but other than that, it's usually a waste of time, man. Dude, price tells you everything. Candlesticks literally tell you everything, if you trade ICT at least. Just my opinion. Opinion is an opinion. It's just what I think. It's just how I believe. It's just how I read the market. That's just my way of doing things. That's it. So, see what else we got. Hard work is unbeatable, bro. It's inevitable. Dude, it's fucking inevitable. Inevitable. Meaning it has to happen. If you work. I think hard work is essential. But that's not the only piece, right? You also have to believe in yourself. You also have a vision. You also have to be... You don't have to be motivated, because when you're disciplined, you're able to work without feeling motivated. I don't wake up every day feeling like, oh, I'm going to get the fuck after it. Oh, I'm going to win today. I'm going to do the best, right? You have your ups and your downs, the ebbs and flows of life. But if you have discipline, that's able to push you through the days where you don't feel like doing what you know you need to do. All the millionaires are delusional. Yep, I see memes on Instagram like my day ones popping up to me after I'm making $1 million. I mean, if that's the type of content that you're attracting, or the content that's being fed to you, then obviously you have some sort of desire to want to be successful. So go for it. But first of all, why the fuck are you scrolling on Instagram? Why are you looking at Instagram memes? Stop wasting your time. Seriously. It's all a distraction. Anything that you do that does not move the needle forward in terms of you achieving your long-term goals is a distraction. So eliminate it. I don't scroll through social media. I don't watch TV. I don't. What other things do? It's basically just your phone and the TV, right? The only two distractions are like useless, brainless activity that does absolutely fucking nothing for you. I think that's basically it, right? All right, what time is it? It's now 4:18. Looks like the chat is dead. Is this the end of the stream, guys? Let me know. Who watches TV these days? Dude, I mean, you have like sports on. I think it's incredible to me how motherfuckers will sit down and watch football all Sunday. That's just how I know that you're not doing anything with your life. You're not working towards a specific worthwhile goal. Could you talk about like psychology in trading? Can I talk about psychology? Psychology is bullshit until you have figured out exactly what your market approach is, exactly what your model is. You know exactly how you're executing on your playbooks. You understand setup selection. You understand. And then once you start applying risk and once you start trying to scale up, that is when your emotions kick in. Don't take it from me. Take it from Umar Ashraf. Take it from an 8-figure trader. Will this live record be posted? I mean, yeah, if you go to the live section of my YouTube channel, then it shows up there after the fact, after the stream is over. So yeah, it will be. If you want to go back and watch it, I guess that's cool. What was I going to do? Oh, yep, here it is, Chart Fanatics. All right. I'm gonna show you guys the sauce, and it's free. Here it is. Watch this video and change your trading journey. Seriously. No vid until Tuesday? Yeah, probably. You know what? I may live stream tomorrow since I'm not trading tomorrow. Should I live stream again tomorrow? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if I should live stream again tomorrow. It'll probably just be something like this where I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. Because honestly, I genuinely enjoy doing this. No vid until Tuesday. Yeah, no vid until Tuesday. What is your opinion on TJR? I think that he's more of a social media influencer now than an actual trader. And I don't think the way that he's trading is necessarily good for any kind of new trader who's looking up to him as an inspiration as an inspiration, and because they're just going to get a false reality of what trading really is like. So it probably wouldn't lead someone down the right road. But I mean, eventually you get to the point where, I don't know, maybe you don't even have to trade anymore. Maybe that's, what some people want, but I want to be in this game forever. I want to be one of the greats. So I'm in it for the long run, 100%. All right, guys, 8 more minutes and then I really got to go. Maybe let's go right now. Should I go right now? TGR is mental lol, but at least he's an honest trader and posts every trade. TGR is 0% trade management. He removed the stop loss the other day. Listen, guys, let's not talk about other grown-ass men. If you were a grown-ass man, why are you sitting here talking about other grown-ass men? How about you worry about your own life and build the life that you want instead of watching somebody else live theirs? How does that sound? You should do tape reading live streams on the days you don't trade. I kind of like that idea. But really, the days that I don't trade, I'll show you my calendar. The days that I don't trade, I take that work block where I would usually trade and use it to move the needle forward on what I'm working on outside of trading. So when I'm not trading, I simply see that as, okay, perfect. This is an opportunity for me to move forward on what I'm working on off the charts. So for example, you see that I have trading session. Here, you don't see it. I'm gonna move the needle forward. I'm working on outside of trading, and I have this work block from 9:45 to 1 o'clock where I'm just gonna lock the fuck in and move forward on what I'm working on. Which would be This is what I'm working on. I showed you guys earlier. I don't know if any of you guys are still here from when I actually did show it earlier, but I'm working on this right now, just filling this out. So I'm going to be working on this tomorrow when I'm not trading. But instead of within the hour of my day where I would usually be making a trading video, content create, market review, I'll probably do a live stream, or maybe just some other form of content. Okay, sound good? But I really do have to get on with my day now. I gotta go to the gym. I'm gonna let these dogs out. I'm gonna hit chest and back and move on with my day. So appreciate you guys for tuning into the stream. I appreciate you for interacting with me in the chat. I really enjoyed just sitting here and literally just talking to you guys and giving my advice, my kind of perspectives and outlooks on life, a couple of my beliefs. Hopefully I inspired you. Hopefully I motivated you to kind of make a change in your life and become a better version of yourself, because that's all I want to do with this channel. So I appreciate you. SYA Tech. I'll see you later, brother. See you next stream. Hopefully you'll be there. Nicholas, shout out Nick. I'll talk to you next time as well. Probably see you in the comment section of my next video, because you're always there. Appreciate you. And that's it for this one. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Maybe? No promises.